Hey here from Easy Peasy Crypto. And I wanted to chat with you today about the biggest question I get all the time. People ask me about Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and blockchain. And their biggest question is, and you might have this question, is how do you make money with all this stuff? So there are a few answers here. And I have actually 4 points on 4 ways that you can make money with this entire massive development coming. But the answer really depends on you. What is your philosophy? Are you a long-term player or are you short-term player? Um, do you what is your risk tolerance level? I mean, anyone entering this phase at this moment in this very early stage, and yes, Bitcoin has been around for 10 years, but we're still at the very tip of the iceberg on how blockchain is going to play out and how all of this works. So the question is, there's even riskier methods even when you're entering into this space. So number one, and my favorite method of making money with this is at the moment, particularly looking at Bitcoin. Bitcoin skyrocketed up 2 years ago, kept falling down last year, bottomed out about a month and a half ago, and has been on a straight climb back again ever since. So if you bought 2 months ago, you would have more than doubled your money already. So it is highly volatile, and Bitcoin is actually the most stable of all of the cryptocurrencies at the moment. So that's one thing. So my philosophy is I've decided for myself that I'm investing for the long term. I think long term Bitcoin, and when I say long term, I'm saying 4 to 5 years. Where is it going to be in relation to where it is now? And it trades like a stock. There are many exchanges all across the planet where you can buy Bitcoin, and there is a global market that is decided based on supply and demand. It looks to me very clearly that that demand is on the way up massively as a vehicle that stabilizes currency and financial transactions all across the planet through many, many different sources. So to me, buying and holding makes a lot of sense. Or in the crypto space, we call it hodling instead of holding. And hodling because you're buying and holding on for dear life. Because yes, it has been volatile from the very beginning. It has been a very, very volatile asset. And yes, it is an asset. So you can invest in it. I personally am choosing a longer term view, believing that even at the rate we're at right now, and today it's just over 8,200 US dollars, I believe it's still going to rise dramatically. So for me, I'm a more conservative, risk averse, even in this risky market. I like to hodl, buy when I can. I buy a little bit over time and just keep adding to that position. And then you've got a dollar cost averaging of how much you're laying out. I don't invest throwing in a very large amount once because, as I've mentioned already, there is a very large amount of volatility here. The second most popular method is for people who are active traders. And these would be, you can day trade or minute by minute trade in Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies the same way there are day traders in the stock market. So if you're a day trader in the stock market, it's pretty logical that you could jump in and use that same type of technical analysis that you're using in the stock market, using it for Bitcoin and the other cryptocurrencies. For me, it's not my thing. I'm not a day trader. I'm a long-term stock investor, and I look long-term as well with the different cryptos. So it's not my thing, but there are many people out there who are day traders, and it's simply a new vehicle to add to your portfolio if that's your style. You would use the same type of technical analysis that you would with day trading shares. And third, speaking of shares, you can invest in all the companies that are behind the scenes investing and creating blockchain projects and investing heavily into this entire space. So whether you're looking at IBM or Microsoft, There are about a dozen very mainstream, massive companies that a tiny, tiny portion of what they do is linked to this massive blockchain investment of how the internet is going to work in the future, how computers are going to talk to each other in the future, which in the end is really what blockchain is all about. It's simply about an entirely new way for computers to talk to each other. And there are some mainstream companies at the moment who really are on the cutting edge of what's going to be coming out in the entire new blockchain space. And I will be doing a webinar on that because I get a lot of questions about that. So for the most conservative investor, that may be a way to play this entire, this upcoming technology that is blockchain. And fourth, which is my favorite method at the moment, other than hodling, is investing in the hardware and software behind the scenes that runs the blockchain at the moment, called masternodes. So masternodes is investing in the mainstream, main volume of computers and software that are allowing these transactions to take place. They're very, very sophisticated, very high-speed processors that are being used, and they're quite expensive to get set up to create the data block that is the verification. So there's something called proof of work and proof of stake, and depending on which cryptocurrency, they have payouts, and they pay out in the cryptocurrency, and then that's translated into Bitcoin. And so you're earning Bitcoin, which is something that I really like. It's like getting a stock dividend or a dividend at the bank for putting your money on hold there for a while as you invest in the hardware and software. So masternodes is my #1 method at the moment for greatly increasing cash, and something that is very close to cash, which is called Bitcoin. So that's it for today. We'll be back soon. If you'd like to hear more about masternodes or how you can get started in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, send me a private message and I'll get you. We'll have a chat. We'll see how we can get you set up. So have a great day.